Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I hear a little tippity tippity tap 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 outside my office door, of course, right when the intro plays, because Big Hero has impeccable timing. As do you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Please come on in, give the video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Consider becoming a channel member or even a patron at patreon.com/. I was about to say Black Power Media. Well, them too, but become a patron of us as well. Patreon.com/BIDWKB. We certainly appreciate any and all of the material support and of course the free support that we receive from you very good folks. Got an interesting show today. I'm gonna keep it a buck. My second story is gonna be a tough one. So should I give the content and trigger warnings 30 minutes in advance? I guess I could. But one of my stories tonight, I'm going to be talking about domestic violence in the holidays because this is the week of Turkey Day. I try to catch myself from saying Thanksgiving because everybody ain't thankful for this fucking shit, and for good reason. It's the mark of a genocidal holiday. This is a settler colonial holiday. It's not, we can celebrate the time spent with our folks, but we don't celebrate the day that the Indians let the colonizers live. That's a terrible day, actually. Like, I told you guys about my time machine fantasies that I have. Yes, I'd go back 500 years. All the natives with machetes, with rifles, and be like, look, when you see them pale faces getting off that boat, don't even say hello. Don't ask them how they doing. Don't ask them where they from. Yop their heads off as soon as the motherfuckers open their mouth because they carrying airborne diseases. Okay, so you don't even want to get too close to them because they got the smallpox and the syphilis, and y'all don't want none of that shit. So, in my go back in time machine fantasy, oh man, we be chopping off Europeans' heads left and right. Oh my goodness, colonizers' heads. Like, but anyway, my point is, we celebrate the coming together of our family and friends and the fellowship that we have with our folks. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving, right? Now, damn, I done forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Right. So, domestic violence at the holidays. You would think that calls go up during the holidays for domestic violence, but they actually go down. And there's an interesting reason for that. But what's even bringing me to talk about the story, which will be my second story, is a terrible incident. That's why I have to give all the prefaces and all the content warnings and such. There was a mass shooting that happened in Memphis, Tennessee in recent days, and you may or may not have heard about it. But it ended up being a domestic violence incident, but not between two romantic partners. It had to do with a person essentially annihilating their family. It's fucking crazy, and it's Black folks, so we have to address some of this shit and see and recognize some of the potential dangers that could come along with being around family and friends during the holidays, people going through stresses of life, financial stressors as a result of the holidays. But to be clear, the holidays do not make people commit domestic violence. Okay, motherfuckers was being domestically violent before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, before Hanukkah, before Kwanzaa, before all that shit. This time of year seems to heighten those concerns. So we'll get to that a little bit later. Before I get into my first story, let me welcome you all to the joint. Let me get into the chat and welcome my people. Y'all come on in here, give the video a like, a thumbs up. My first story is kind of going to be kind of an extension of one of the topics we were talking about this morning on the Remix Morning Show. Shout out to my bros, the comrades. We had a good show today. Hold on, let me get to y'all. Let me get to y'all ends and non-ends here real quick. Give me a second. Dame uno minuto, por favor. Hold on. Anyway, hold on. Shout out to all the Sagittariuses as we commence Sagittarius season. Yes. Oh, we got some people in here. Hey. Oh shit, they running ads on my channel, y'all. I again permanently surprised when I see commercials on. I'm like, who the fuck running commercials over here? Girl, somebody is. I don't know. Anyway, what's going on to hey, peace, Zenzi Bell. Did y'all see Zenzi Bell fine ass on my show come Friday? Go back and look at Friday's show. We did a call-in show. Shout out to all my Fire Fam All-Stars. Zenzi Bell, Rose Alba, Tyler. Who else called up? Well, I can't remember shit. Um, God damn it. And I done came to Vesper. DJ Vesper X called us. Afra called us. We had a good show. So anyway, thank you, Zenzi, for being here. Peace, John Kemper. Thank you guys for being here. What's up, Afra? There go Afra right there. Okay, hold on. It was our Swarry Farry. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Frawny? Is that Quake? Is that Quaker? I can't fucking read. Who's that? Dale? What's up, Holly? Y'all come on in here. What's up, Wendy? Is my son in here? Where's Tyler? I know Tyler asked. He be in here if he probably late. What's up, 40J Blaze? Thank you so much for coming through. Peace to Latif. And to our good sister and court, the good mods of the Fire Fam. Donnie is in the building. Love to see it. Damien in the building. Shout out to the dear sis, Heloise. Lady Heloise. Lady Heloise. We love Lady Heloise. Okay, that might be enough shout outs. I mean, there's more people in here, but all right, I'm ready to get started. So anyway, give the video a like and a thumbs up. What's up, Roz Pasta? Roz is pasta sauce. That's a very cute screen name. That shit always makes me smile when I see it. So thank you so much for that. And Quaker is in here. Peace to Quaker Anarchist. Did I shut you out, Quaker? My bad. But we can't overdo the shout outs. I'm telling y'all, shout outs are currency. Make no mistake. People like to be shouted out. They do. They really do. And I love giving shout outs. I always have. So I appreciate you all. I love to recognize my folks who come in here and support us. The what? The who to what? Okay. Does that say the church of the who? Of the reparation? Because y'all know I can't half-ass read. Now I can pronounce, unlike certain people on other channels who shall remain nameless. He can read too. He cannot pronounce. I can pronounce. I cannot read. So, therein lies some of the contradictions. Regardless, let me get into the story. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please don't forget to give the video a like and a thumbs up. And of course, we have been continuing to follow the situation happening in Palestine, where the Palestinians are being subjected to genocide conditions. The Israelis are absolutely committing war crimes, as we're seeing numerous hospitals continue to be targeted and bombed, hospital staff being shot at, people who have been trying to shelter in place, Palestinians trying to shelter in place in some of these hospitals. When they go to evacuate, the IDF begins shooting at them. I'm sure you guys heard the story about, I think it was the 28 premature babies at Al Shifa Hospital that they were finally able to evacuate to Egypt. And those are the 28 that survived. 8 of those premature newborn babies died. So I hope they are being counted in the casualty total as the number of lives that Israel has taken, the number of children's lives that Israel has taken, which now number in the thousands, right? We're looking at over 14,000 total Palestinian deaths since October 7th. And a good chunk of those, like a quarter of those deaths, have been kids. So let's hope that we included those premature newborns in that death total for children, because it is all the fault of Israel why those children died. The resources were cut off from the hospital, and the people who needed that important emergency care were not able to get it. So even though they didn't die because of a bullet, they died directly because of the actions taken by the state of Israel and the IDF. So let's be clear about that. So across the world, people are like, fuck this shit. Y'all saw what we played this morning on the Remix Morning Show. The clips from the ADL's Jonathan Greenblatt, played a clip from Alan Dershowitz, and they're concerned about the tide of public opinion turning against Israel, and for very good reason. But the tide is not only turning against Israel in the streets in Western countries like the US and the UK and other places. The news coming out of South Africa today was pretty validating. Will, if you could, throw up that article for me, please. Coming from Al Jazeera, gang. The South African parliament votes in favor of a motion to close the Israeli embassy. in South Africa. Now, this article is interesting because it shares some details about the diplomatic dynamics between South Africa and Israel that I don't think I was previously aware of. So, starting off, y'all know South Africa was an apartheid state. So, South Africa and South Africans have long felt a lot of kinship between they and Palestinians because, contrary to what the fuck Israel would like to put out, Palestinians are living in apartheid, are living under Israeli occupation. And there's no way around that. You can't dress that up. And that's what the fuck it is. It's an apartheid state, okay? And apparently, diplomatic tensions between South Africa and Israel are not new. In fact, Israel has not had an ambassador in Pretoria since 2018. And now the motion to close the Israeli embassy and to suspend all diplomatic relationships with Israel was voted in favor. It was passed today in the African Parliament. I believe the vote total, we might get it in the package, one of the packages. I think it was like 248 to 91. So it wasn't a close vote, okay? Now, this is largely viewed as a symbolic measure. Even though the parliament has voted to take these actions, they're not final yet. They require the approval of the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa. I hope I'm saying that correct. President Ramaphosa got a vote on. He don't have to vote, but he has to approve it. He has to sign it into being, and that has not yet happened. However, it could happen that way because there was a BRICS summit in South Africa this week. Did you guys know this? BRICS, the potential economic coalition between, and the acronym stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And these Bamas was all meeting in South Africa this week, and they was like, we need a ceasefire. We are in support of the ceasefire. How's NATO voting? Huh? What did NATO vote for, huh? I'm rocking with BRICS here. What is the other aspects about this? So hold on. I am encouraged by this, and I want to show you some pictures coming out of the South African Parliament. This is going to be a TikTok because I did try to watch some of the live proceedings. They were on YouTube and some of the vote, and it's always interesting to me to see foreign legislative bodies deliberating because it's just different. it's a different perspective, and it's not as goofy as the British, right, and the Canadians rocking them dusty ass fucking wigs. It's like y'all are some weirdos for that shit. What's the African nations that do that goofy shit? Is it Kenya? Ooh, y'all niggas need to quit it. Okay. Niggas and non-niggas alike. Y'all need to stop with them dusty ass wigs in your parliamentary and in your judicial, proceedings and whatnot. But anyway, let's take a look at this TikTok so you can understand. It's going to be clipped for time. But you're going to hear the vote total and you're going to hear some of the representatives in the South African Parliament express their feelings after learning that this motion indeed passed. Let's take a listen.
As amended is accordingly agreed to.
Free Palestine.
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Free Palestine.
Order.
Free,
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Order.
Free Palestine.
Free
Palestine.
Free Palestine.
So as you guys can see, a lot of the vote proceedings were taking place virtually. And after that vote, that was a response from a lot of the elected leaders there in the South African Parliament, free Palestine. So this motion was initially proposed by the leader of the left-wing party, the EFF. And this motion was supported by the ANC. The y'all know the ANC, the Nelson Mandela and them, right? And definitely opposed by the whites. Okay. The Elon Musk people was like, we don't want this shit. And the blacks was like, tough shit, dog. It's more of us than you. Fuck you, Elon. and your people. And they didn't say fuck you, Elon. I said fuck you, Elon, but you get the point, right? The conservative whites who stand in support of the Israeli occupation were not in favor of this, but obviously they were voted down. And I want us to go back a month, if we could. October 20th is when I believe this campaign to punish Israel diplomatically by South Africans. I believe this campaign it's been underway at least a month, perhaps even longer. If you guys have some more context to add, please do so in the chat. But I wanted to take a look at this package from the South African Broadcasting Corporation, the SABC. And again, the foreign media kind of hits a little different, right? And I'm not talking about BBC. BBC is state-owned media. France 24 is state-owned media. Deutsche Welle is state-owned media. Like, and this could be state-owned media for all the fuck I know. But listen, they letting motherfuckers get on their TV station and kick the real, okay? I heard nothing but facts. And I think you guys will share my feelings once you hear this story, this package. And this is going to be 4 minutes. But again, they kicking that real and it's fern and it sounds good and I dig it. So I want you guys to listen to how this whole campaign for South Africa to formally, like, for real, no, we not fucking with Israel on paper, nigga. Okay, like, write that down. Everybody put their name to this shit. Like, no, this shit is legit. This ain't just some stuff we talking about. So anyway, I want you guys to check this out. This package from South African Broadcasting Corporation. Let's take a listen.
They came in numbers, young and old, here to express their views about what's happening in Gaza.
What we are calling for the two-state solution, so that the people of Palestine can govern themselves, can have their own state, a sovereign state with equal rights, their own airports, their own, schools, and govern themselves.
I don't think that they have the right to defend themselves, because defend themselves against what exactly? That's my question to everybody. A few rockets that never even got over the border. They have these iron domes. They have protection. They have all kinds of equipment that the Palestinians don't have.
We are here today to stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine. For the past 75 years, the people of Palestine have been facing the same oppression from apartheid Israel. And it seems as if international humanitarian rights it only excludes Palestine. People are suffering every day.
Without having to rehash the realities of the Palestinians, South Africa went through the same thing. For us, South Africa, this is personal, because we know what it feels to be dispossessed of your land and of your dignity and your humanity. And it's something that we South Africans, we can't tolerate. Me as a unionist, obviously, human rights is a fundamental principle that we'll fight for, whether at home or abroad.
As the death toll rises, the governing party, the ANC in South Africa, and its alliance partners say government must expel Israel's diplomats. The governing party says Palestinians must be free and allowed to determine their own future.
We have a rich history that comes out of our own struggle, where we have gone out to mobilize the world to understand our plight. What Comrade President is doing is exactly what our forebears have done. President Tambo, Chief Albert Lutuli, President Nelson Mandela. Ourselves, as we have heard from Comrade Secretary General, will be engaging with the liberation movements here in Africa. We are calling for an urgent meeting of the African Union. We are interacting with sister organizations worldwide.
Mokonyane also says the International Criminal Court must step in.
We've also said we call on the ICC. Remember, we had initially had a position that said, let's pull out. But we realized that it's better to fight from within and call for reform. This is a test of the ICC, where a head of state calls and gives warning to people of another nation to say, evacuate otherwise who are coming to flatten your country. A country that they've already occupied. Isn't that a crime against humanity? Isn't that an issue that needs to be attended to? So our resolutions have never been lip service. Our struggle is a protracted one, and we'll never tire in doing everything. And if we have to come back tomorrow again to the streets, we'll do it.
while the Israeli diplomat says they'll always be open for talks after they did not receive the ANC memorandum outside the diplomatic mission.
I would like to say that actually today we had a very big event in Mercytown, in Joburg, event of support for Israel. We had hundreds and hundreds of pastors, of Christian spiritual leaders that came to express their support with Israel, to express their solidarity. It was an exceptional meeting, and we were very happy to see this support for Israel. We were very happy to hear the speeches of these leaders, these spiritual leaders, of speaking in favor of support of Israel.
As the President of the Republic heads to Egypt, the humanitarian crisis continues and the prospects of a ceasefire are non-existent. Meanwhile, the EFF is going to lead another march on Monday calling for the cessation of hostilities. Kylie Kumalo, SABC News, Pretoria.
Indeed. Don't you guys want to be in Pretoria right there protesting underneath that beautiful African sun? Yes. Thank you, Cape Socialist in the chat. Cape is on the continent, Cape Socialist, and in South Africa. And Cape tells us that they were at a EFF pro-Palestine rally 2 weeks ago, and Cape, I think you're a he, but I'm gonna say they because I don't anyway, Cape Socialist said it was over 300,000 people out there at the EFF rally in support of Palestinians. So woo, it looked like, Palestinians and people in support of Palestine are across the globe, bringing out hundreds of thousands of people in countries and cities everywhere. And you heard whoever that was representing Israel or the Jewish folks, or not, you said that, let me not say Jewish, the Zionists down in South Africa, like, yeah, we had a few hundred people come out. It's like, sir, y'all not doing numbers out here. Yo, I mean, your album's not even going gold out here in the streets. Israel, Palestine out here going platinum in the streets. And obviously, I'm not trying to be flippant about the situation, but you guys understand the comparison that I'm trying to make. And as an extension of what we were talking about this morning on the morning show, the Zionists have a problem. They have a big gap between support for the Israeli occupation, the continued occupation of Palestine, and those around the globe who are demanding and screaming literally for a free Palestine, and most importantly, a ceasefire. Now, the latest news coming out tonight from American News, who the fuck knows, but there's allegedly a tentative agreement potentially in place to release some of the Israeli hostages that were taken by Hamas back on October 7th. The tentative details so far include that Israel would give back 150 captured Palestinians, most of whom are women and children, in exchange for 50 Israeli hostages who would only be women and children, right? These are the details as are being reported. A ceasefire would accompany the exchange of these hostages, and but nothing is set in stone yet, right? And if you could, Will, hold on, let me get to that other image. The atrocities in Palestine still continue, right? I think it's kind of interesting the way that the U.S. media, completely unsurprising, but all we're getting is the Israeli state perspective, right? Oh, Israel said, here go the tunnels underneath Al Shifa Hospital. This is a Hamas tunnels. This was a Hamas command center. And I find it a little telling that these mainstream American media outlets, NBC News and CBS News, are the two that I've seen specifically, but both of those news outlets said, our agency cannot independently verify this information. Then why the fuck are you talking about it then, dog? Like, why are you talking about it? Why are you bringing up the Israel perspective, what Israel says that Hamas is doing, but you're not really reporting on what Israeli forces are actually doing to the people in Gaza and to the people in the West Bank? And Will, if you could please pop up the picture, because this is in part what they're doing. In addition to allowing, well, number one, intentionally murdering thousands of Israeli civilians, including children, they have also been killing a lot of journalists. This news was breaking today This was posted. This was posted. Hold on. By Rami Jarrah at Rami Jarrah on Twitter. And I've seen this story picked up and confirmed by a number of sources that I find credible. Yeah, thank you for putting that picture up, Will. So keep that up there. It says this was breaking news as of today. Journalist Rabi Mamari and Farah Omar were killed in Israeli bombings, in the Israeli bombardment of southern Lebanon. Oh, yeah. Did you guys know that? Hold on, let me finish the tweet. It says, bringing the total number of journalists killed since the war in Gaza started up to 56. So that is a number that I would like to see verified by some other sources, but it sounds plausible. And as you see, those two journalists, they are equipped in gear that denote them as press, right? They're wearing the flak jackets, the bulletproof vests, the helmets that denote them as press, which means they're not supposed to be targets. But as you heard, as I just read, that these two gentlemen, these two journalists, were murdered in Lebanon, in southern Lebanon, because some of the Israeli attacks killed 4 civilians in Lebanon, right? So, that's probably not going to go over well with the folks in Hezbollah. Like you coming across the border, now you taking this bombardment shit way too far, right? And it's been gone too far. But the concerns that this horrible situation can expand to other countries, it's going to continue to become a growing possibility because obviously Israel is indiscriminately bombing places. We know this. They're targeting hospitals. We know this. They're targeting refugee camps. We know this. They're targeting border crossings. We know this. So what's to stop them from dropping them bombs just a little too far over the Lebanon border, right? Or they hit some specific targets in Syria, which, by the way, they've been doing for years. Israel's been bombing the shit out of Syria for quite some time, and bombing the shit out of other places as well. But the lack of containment, if the US is not able to literally rein Israel in, this war is going to spread. It's going to be a worse war. It's going to be about 4-5 people in the war. Who going to be in the war? Lebanon going to be in the war? Who else going to be in the war? You don't want Iran to get in the war, because then America going to get in the war, right? And it's about to be election season. we're less than a year away from the presidential election. Well, what's the best way to rally Americans, everybody, to get into a foreign war? Please do not put it past this raggedy ass colony to go get into some shit again, many thousands of miles away from our shores again, to involve ourselves in other people's business worse than we normally do again, to destroy other people's nations as we have done. Lots of times, even in our recent history. I'm a young woman out here. I'm 45. God damn. I done seen Iraq destroyed. I done seen Afghanistan destroyed. I done seen Libya destroyed. I'm sure there's some other places that have been destroyed that either they didn't tell us about or my memory is just failing me, because America has been bombing the shit out of a lot of places my entire 45 years. So I am very proud of the actions and glad. And did you guys hear the rhetoric? Going back, really, you can take the picture off. Will, we want to send our condolences, absolutely. And our sympathies to the families of those two journalists that were killed in Israeli airstrikes or bombardments, as it was described in southern Lebanon, because it's terrible. I mean, the most innocent of folks are being intentionally targeted by the IDF. Journalists, children, medical evacuees, people in refugee camps. Like these are war crimes. And you heard the sister in the South African package say that we're taking this to the ICC, to the International Criminal Court. And she said, our motions are not lip service. I said, girl, you better talk, because what Israel's doing are legitimate war crimes. This is not some stuff that people who ally on the side of Palestine, this is not some stuff that we're subjectively saying. This is objectively war crimes. This is objectively genocide being committed against the Palestinian people. Should they be brought up? Should Israel and Netanyahu and IDF leaders be brought up on war crimes? Absolutely, they should. And please take George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, take the rest of them niggas with you. But we know who the ICC is for. The ICC, by and large, is for African leaders, yeah? I think the ICC has only, correct me, chat, if I got this wrong, the ICC has only convicted one white. Maybe not one, but I think it's only one. It's Milosevic, right? Slobodan Milosevic, one of them bombers from wherever the fuck he was, Serbia, doing terrible things. I might be misplacing that because y'all know I smoke a lot of weed and this shit was a long time ago. But you understand what I'm saying? The ICC don't be coming for the whites. They're not coming for Bush. They're not coming for Netanyahu. They coming for Kagame, right? They not coming for, oh, who's my man? Mugabe, not Kagame, my bad. They coming for Robert Mugabe. Not to say they shouldn't come for Mugabe, but you understand the point. Like the ICC, that's for blacks. They don't stick the ICC on the whites. Not like that. But notwithstanding, the fact that the motions are being submitted, right? That the Israel should be brought up on war crimes is significant. And again, if anybody knows what an apartheid state is, it's the South Africans, okay? It's the South Africans. And in so many instances, listen to women, listen to black people, listen to them black people, because they know what the fuck they talking about when it comes to apartheid. And because of the way that Palestinians have been subjugated by Israelis, South Africans, since the black folks came into power, they have, always felt that and not necessarily had the rosiest of relationships with Israel as a result. If I have that right, Cape Socialist, you can correct me if I got this shit all wrong, but I don't think so though. I think we're on the right path. What's up, Alicia? Thank you so much for being here, baby. So we just wanted to say what's up. The continent coming through. I don't care if it's a symbolic measure. I wish more countries would symbolically join in. And to be clear, I do not think that South Africa expelled the Israeli ambassador. I think Israel actually recalled their ambassador even before October 7th, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe shortly after. But this motion sends a clear message that apartheid states are not welcome in South Africa, which I think is a great message to send. And y'all can pack y'all shit. We're going to close your little embassy and we don't want to talk to y'all. We're suspending diplomatic relations until you get the fuck out of Palestine. Now, maybe that's probably me, speaking, pushing that line a little, not too far, but maybe saying a little bit more than what they were saying. But I would love to see more nations take these steps. And if you live in a nation that could potentially take these steps, pressure them to do so. Now, unfortunately, I live in America. Okay. I live in America. And we got black representatives, the black majority leader of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, speaking at an AIPAC convention, talk about Israel today, Israel tomorrow, Israel forever. This nigga with a straight face. Hold on, let me say that again. This nigga with a straight face gonna paraphrase segregationist George Wallace when George Wallace said segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. And Hakeem Jeffrey goofy ass got up there and said that shit with a straight fucking face in front of a room full of whites, in front of a room full of Jewish whites, and just thought he was regular. Like, what? New York, you need to collect your people. What the fuck? And I will collect mine as well, because we got some goofy Negroes down here too. But y'all first, okay? Because Hakeem Jeffries actually holds a position of power in the House, regardless. But anyway, so I just wanted to bring that y'all's attention. And through the course of looking at this story, I found out about this BRICS convention that happened in South Africa this week. So maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow morning on the Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media. Let me take a quick little break. Little powers for the cows. Thank you guys so much for making some time. Now look, my goofy butt, my mic fell off its arm Friday. And apparently I did not come in this room all weekend because it wasn't until Tuesday morning, this morning, to sit down for the morning show. I'm like, oh right, my mic was broke. So I'm just holding this junk, like holding it. Ooh, I'm telling you. Maybe Kamal was right. I should have been an MC. I love gripping the mic. Like, who got the psych. I can't rap though. I can only recite rhymes. And I could not be reciting nobody else's rhymes, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm true to this hip hop thing. I couldn't be spitting nobody else's rhymes. I know Cardi B does it with no conscience, and that's fine. But I you can't call me no fake ass rapper. But I guess nobody cares in this day and age because everybody's fucking faking some way, right? And faking is like accepted. Biting is accepted. Y'all kids is weird out here. I just wanted to tell y'all that. Like, y'all don't care about actual things as it pertains to this rap shit. And I'd be confused. I'd be so confused. What you mean? He ain't gotta write his rhymes. You should though. It's just a thought. What's up, Steve? Latif, stop laughing at me. You stop all your sniggling out there. Oh, she did. Well, thank you so much for that. Franny Francais has informed us that Cardi B has come out in support of Palestine. I rescind all and any shit talking I was doing about Cardi B because Cardi B is trying to be on the right side of justice. And you know what? I'm here for that. Good for her. Did she really? Now I'm gonna have to look for that shit. We have to talk about that shit tomorrow. But that's not new though, Franny Francais, right? Didn't she say that some time ago? I think she has said she's come out in support of Palestine before these most recent developments, if I'm not mistaken. What happened, Tyler? Why are you redacting your messages? I can see that, you know. You don't have to. Tyler, you can speak freely here, baby. It is, well, it used to be a safe space. It's just a renamed space. It's still safe, but we're not going to call it a safe space. It's a renamed. Can't call it a secure space because that sounds like, feds. We don't want that. So anyway. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are planning for a wonderful and safe holiday season with your people. And, guys, the holidays tend to bring out a lot of shit. You're already seeing the stories online and on local media about how do we tackle those difficult dinner table conversations with so many people so divided in this country. What is Thanksgiving going to be like at your house? And you guys, so looking at domestic violence statistics for the holidays, you would actually think that the calls for domestic violence actually go up during the holidays, but that's actually not true. Most domestic violence hotlines receive fewer calls during the holidays. And you might think that that's, sort of contradictory. And the reason given by a lot of experts is because of this. Especially when it comes to intimate partner violence, right? These domestic violence support hotlines get fewer calls because usually the person who's on the receiving end of especially physical abuse, and by the way, domestic violence is not always physical, but in the instances in which it is, people are trying to basically keep the peace, right? It's the holiday season, trying to make the best of a difficult situation. If I call the hotline, if I call the police, so and so might get locked up, may not be out here to celebrate the holiday with the kids and with the family. So let me just keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to grin and bear it. Okay. Those are some of the reasons, or that could be a reason why some of these hotlines get fewer calls. But you guys, domestic violence not only includes physical abuse, it includes emotional abuse, verbal abuse. It can include belittling and insults. In some ways, domestic violence can present itself as trying to isolate people socially from their families and from their friends. But even also, and this was something interesting that I found out today and doing some research, one instance of domestic violence that is considered domestic violence that I would not have thought is antisocial behavior, right? So, for example, like if you are in a abusive relationship, and you and your partner go to a family event or some sort of social gathering, the abuser just may separate themselves totally from all the social interaction, right? They can be off in the room or in the TV or on their phone or playing a video game, but just not interacting, making it clear that they are with intention, not involving themselves in this social thing, making their partner likely very uncomfortable, perhaps embarrassed, or why is he acting like that? Why is she acting like that? You know what I mean? Just causing friction. But the story I want to talk to you guys about tonight is way deeper than friction. And let me give everybody a content warning and a trigger warning because this involves a mass shooting. Not in the same way that we have come to know mass shootings in America, but a man, for reasons that I don't believe have been confirmed, went on a killing spree of his family members. Okay. And we've seen family annihilators before, but this is not a man killing his wife and children. This was a man who killed his sister, his niece, his great niece, and then went and shot and killed his ex-wife. He's alive. He's been arrested. He's in custody. But we need to make sure that we are aware of all instances in which a domestic violence situation can present itself, not just at the holidays, but anytime. But this story so happened to coincide with the week of this holiday. And I wanted to bring it up and show it to you guys. And it's not to bum you out. Maybe it is to piss you off. But it's really to make you aware, and whether or not any of you have volatile or violent people in your family or who you might see this holiday weekend or whatever. I think it's important that we take steps to not only protect ourselves, but protect our loved ones. And in this day and age, I think it's okay to not give people a doubt. If somebody's a fucking lunchbox, and what I mean by DMV know what I mean by lunchbox, but if somebody's a fucking lunchbox out here, meaning that they are unpredictable, potentially violent, overly dramatic to the point of, inciting of perhaps a physical response by others, you don't have to open the door for them motherfuckers. Okay? Like, you can tell them people we close. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you just not allowed over here. So anyway, we're gonna come back. But I wanted to play you guys this package. This is from Fox 13 in Memphis. And again, content warning, y'all. This is a horrific story. But it's not surprising to me, nor do I think it's a coincidence that all this alleged shooter's victims, all women and girls, okay? But as you guys will hear, this was not just an incident that just happened. He didn't just snap and decide to go kill his sister and his nieces and his ex-wife. No, this person had been an abusive piece of shit, a physically abusive piece of shit for a long time. And if you think for a second, I can only speak as a woman here, but if you have a male abuser in your proximity, in your family, right? Please don't think that just because you his sister or because you his mother or because you his cousin, that he won't hit you. Because if you hit his woman, why the fuck wouldn't he hit you? Why wouldn't he hit you, right? So anyway, let me calm down. I want you guys to check out this story, okay? So just be aware. This is some heavy shit. Check it out.
The pieces of a disturbing, heartbreaking puzzle are starting to come together. At the center of it, police say, is this man who they are calling the shooter, 52-year-old Mavis Christian. Police say he shot 5 people in his family, killing 4 of them. They say he shot and killed his sister, Ruby Christian, Ruby's daughter, Kamaria Christian, and Kamaria's daughter, Tori Christian. Investigators say he also shot another one of Kamaria's daughters, a 15-year-old who is now in stable condition. Officers say Christian also shot and killed his ex-wife, who family members identify as Tawanda Barron. Sunday, we went to the second shooting scene on Warrington Road in Parkway Village. According to property records, it's owned by Ruby Christian, the suspect's sister, again, one of the 4 victims who police say Christian shot and killed.
Very, very nice lady. Couldn't ask for a better neighbor.
That's Tandy Biesinger talking about her friend and neighbor of many years, Ruby Christian. Biesinger, for now, has Ruby's dog, Money, who she says was inside the home when paramedics arrived.
That's when they circled around and came back up to Ruby's driveway there to her residence. And that's when I took off on foot running. I met the daughter. She was inside the house. No police were even on the scene yet. And I'm not quite sure. I know her daughter thought that her mother had slipped and fell, which was not the case. But we did not know that, it was gunshot wound.
B. Singer says she had not met her neighbor's brother, the alleged shooter.
The only thing I'm aware of is there was some family situations going on that left some ties, I think, due to their mother passing.
She says Ruby Christian had only briefly mentioned her brother.
She had made comments, not just me as a neighbor, but even to other neighbors as well. I'm not sure, what all that would lead to or if he had ever made threats.
Police say once the shooter left Parkway Village, he went to a home on Howard Drive in Whitehaven. That's where they say he shot and killed yet another victim. Again, her family identifies that victim as Tawanda Barron. Fox 13 uncovered a 2018 court case which establishes Christian and Tawanda Barron were once married. Digging deeper, that 2018 court record paints the picture of yet another domestic dispute. Investigators say during an argument, Mavis Christian punched his ex-wife in the face several times to the point of her losing consciousness. It says when the couple's children, using a bat, tried to defend their mother, the suspect took the bat and used it to beat his ex-wife in the head. It says during the fight, the suspect even punched his own daughter in the face.
All right, we bring you back out live tonight to this second murder scene, the home of Ruby Christian. You're taking a live look at it tonight. Her neighbors here in the area, that neighbor who you heard from, B. Singer, I tell you, it really shows you the value of good relationships and a good neighbor. She was telling me that earlier she was here with Christian's daughter, and they were helping her clean up that kitchen where she found her mother. We should also mention that, as you heard the neighbors say, she can't say enough about Ruby Christian. She says she was a hard worker. She says that she worked for Aspen Dental in Millington as a dental technician. Daryl, as we bring you back in, as I mentioned earlier, I tell you, as the holidays come around, we know it's a tough time for a lot of people. A lot of times there are tensions in the family. The hope is that everyone will remain calm and remember there are reactions for every action.
Absolutely, Daniel.
All right, guys, and again, I'm so sorry to have to bring you this kind of news because it's very hard to hear. It's hard to hear that a brother would do that to a sister, that an uncle would do that to his niece, that even an ex-husband would do that to his wife. But unfortunately, these are the realities that we live in, okay? So when I say things like there's no such thing as gender wars, this is exactly what I mean, everybody. Like a war indicates that we're talking about two perhaps equally equipped parties, right? And they're going to fight. And you might see, one side might, throwing out a random number, might get 600 casualties and the other side might get 400 casualties, but it's close enough that you can still call it a war. We're talking about men on women violence. That shit ain't close. It's not close. It's not close, okay? Not even. This one individual took the lives of 4 women and girls in one day. Try to take the life of 5. The teenager is still fighting for her life, okay? The other ones did not make it, okay? And a domestic violence situation does not necessarily involve you and your lover. You know what I mean? You could have somebody like this. And again, the reports are not 100% clear as to what the motivation was. To hear the neighbor offer something in the form of an explanation about, the brother and the sister may have had some disputes over the deceased mother's estate. I can't confirm that as fact, but that's sort of the smallest kind of details so far that I've been able to reveal or uncover, trying to pertain to a motive. But I wanted to bring you guys a story as a heads up. As a heads up, our society right now, individuals are under so much pressure, right? And simply being under pressure is not an excuse to be violent. but it is a reason. It's a bad reason. It's a terrible reason. But people being under pressure is under pressure and under depression, we can say that, is a reason why people are violent, right? Or can be violent. And if you even think, honestly, that there's an inkling that somebody coming to your dinner table or somebody coming to your mama's house or somebody coming to your sister's house has the potential to wow the fuck out in a violent way, please try to quell that entire situation in advance. Don't subject yourself, don't subject your family, don't subject yourself to these folks. And I know some might disagree with that. Well, these people, in fact, like this man, maybe they don't need to be isolated. Maybe they need people to reach out. Yeah, but not if you're going to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Not if you're going to be dangerous. Um, I want to play this other package for you out of Tampa. Because I was going on YouTube and there's all these little reminder stories, packages from local TV networks across the country about the rise or alleged rise in domestic violence around the holidays. Again, it doesn't seem to be empirically backed up by data, though intuitively you would think that during the holidays calls for domestic violence go up, but in fact they go down. But anyway, I want us to play this clip from out of Tampa because I think they share some pretty good information coming from a domestic violence expert and who works at an organization that helps survivors. Let's take a look at that, Will.
Area, we've seen at least 2 domestic-related homicides in less than a week.
Yeah, it raises questions about domestic violence around the holidays. 8 on your side's Nico Clements is live in Tampa. And Nico, you spoke with an advocate for domestic violence victims.
Yeah, I did. And it may seem like we see a rise in domestic violence around Thanksgiving and Christmas. The advocate I spoke with says what we do see is a heightened risk for survivors during the holidays.
It's no surprise that things can escalate during the holiday season, especially the Thanksgiving and the winter holidays.
It's a question posed every year around this time. Is there more domestic violence during the holidays?
It always feels that way.
Just Tuesday, there was a double murder-suicide in Spring Hill involving 3 family members. And last Friday, Pinellas County detectives say Ramon Hernandez beat a man to death with a baseball bat. He was allegedly searching for his girlfriend.
Some holidays, yes, some holidays, no.
Mindy Murphy is the president and CEO of the Spring of Tampa Bay, the certified domestic violence center for Hillsborough County. She says research shows domestic violence doesn't necessarily increase during the holidays.
Nothing causes you to become, abusive, right? No amount of drinking alcohol, no amount of financial stress causes you to all of a sudden become abusive. But certainly if you're already abusive, the escalation, I think, during the holidays is real.
A report from the National Resource Center on Domestic Violence shows there are fewer calls to the National Domestic Violence Hotline during the holidays. In 2019, the hotline saw an average of 870 calls a day. But that average fell to less than 500 calls on Thanksgiving, just 502 on Christmas Day, and less than 700 on New Year's Eve. Despite the call drop during the holidays, Murphy says the message will never change.
We want every survivor in the Tampa Bay area to know that they are not alone. You are not alone in this.
Murphy says it's not just the Spring you can turn to for professional help. There's the Casa Pinellas. There's also Sunrise in Pasco County. Live in Tampa, Nico Clemens, 8 on your side.
While I'm appreciative and grateful that there are resources and organizations out there that are there to help survivors, you guys, I'm still stuck, left wondering and asking, where are the resources for the abusers? And I know maybe that sounds not like the kind of question that I would ask, right? The resources for the abusers could be a 45 caliber. Whoa, did I say that? Oh, my bad. But I'm being serious. Like, if there is a person, let's say a man, if there is a man who feels as though he is at risk for putting hands on his family members, either his partner, his children, as we heard in the previous package, where Mavis Christensen Jr. Mavis Christian Jr., the 52-year-old man who murdered 4 of his family members, but who had been previously convicted on domestic violence for beating his wife in the head with a bat and punching his daughter in the face. Let's say this man had enough self-awareness at some point to be like, I have an anger problem. When my wife says XYZ to me, or when my daughter does XYZ, I want to put hands on them. What can I do to not do that? Like, where are those resources? Where are those organizations? I'm not saying they don't exist, because I've heard of a couple, and I don't think the couple that I've heard of are not even based in the US. I think one is actually based in the UK, and unfortunately the name escapes me right now. And I think that there's another one based in Canada. But I don't know of these organizations in the US. And if you know them, drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments. I love to know, where are the resources for the men who are doing the abusing? And some might argue, well, their resource can be jail. You know what I'm saying? Well, and to be honest, I don't feel as though someone who perpetuates domestic violence necessarily has a mental health issue going on, but they definitely have a behavioral issue going on. And some would say, well, the only thing that motherfucker deserves is jail or a bullet, right? And again, under regular circumstances, I would kind of agree with you, but I'm feeling, dare I say, fucking empathetic for my enemies at some point, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't want these men and boys out here putting hands on girls and women. I don't want these men and boys feeling so furious and angry that they have to literally go annihilate all the women in their family, even if it's one. Okay, I know this case in Memphis is a very extreme example, but unfortunately, it's not the only example that I could probably even pull up from this year, right? But part of me doesn't want to just blanketly generalize all these abusers as evil. Some of them are evil, but some of them are just fucked up. They came out of fucked up situations. No one taught them better. They came up beating their girlfriends or being aggressive with their girlfriends, possessive with their girlfriends, because that's what they saw their father doing. That's what they saw their uncles doing. That's the example that they were given, right? That's how they were socialized. So I can't all blame them. But there is an absolute misogyny problem in this country, okay? And I know America ain't the only country that hates women, but this is the motherfucking one I live in, right? So we need to get this misogyny shit together in this goddamn country for the sake of women and girls and femmes ASAP. And the way to do that is to not only help survivors, but you have to help the abusers too before they get to this point. And I don't know enough about the topic. I'm going to be honest. I don't know necessarily what the warning signs are for. And again, I have to keep saying man, because I know that there are abusive women. Yes, I know women can be the aggressors in intimate partner violence relationships. I understand that. But when we're talking about murders, when we talk about who killing who, it's not close. If you think that women are out here killing their boyfriends at the same rates that boyfriends are out here killing their girlfriends, you are delusional, okay? There's something the matter with the way that you process and comprehend information and data, okay? Because it's not close. It's not half. It's not women be killing these niggas out here too. They don't. Not at the same rates, not as often. And more often than not, men who are abusers, predators, either, sexual abusers or domestic violence perpetrators or otherwise, it's usually not their first go round. You know what I'm saying? By the time they get caught up beating somebody, that might be the third, fourth, fifth, 10th person that they have been domestically violent with, right? They've been violent with their intimate partners. So we have a misogyny problem amongst men in this country. And I don't know how to resolve it. I don't. Because I recognize some men can begrudgingly and eventually talk about their own hurts and their own traumas, which is good. But they are very reluctant, if not outright defiant, and refuse to acknowledge that the harms and the abuses that they've committed upon others. Because I get it. I get it. Let me try to put myself, if I could. Let me even think about putting myself in the shoes of one of my abusers. You know what I'm saying? my age now, right? 45 years old, probably a father, maybe a husband. Does this person like to sit around and think about how they smack me? Like, does that even come up in their head? I'm sure not. Put myself in the shoes of a different abuser. Does this person, consider themselves to be a rapist or a sexual abuser? Like, what do they see when they look at their daughter and their daughter's become of dating age? Like, are you concerned that your daughter's going to run into a nigga just like you? Like, you understand what I'm saying? So I want to have some empathy here, but I this is where my empathy gap struggles, because I mean, I want harm done to those who commit harm to others. But I know you have to give them love and understanding in order for them to change, right? But they have to want to change. They have to be able to recognize that behavior within themselves and be willing to not only recognize it and acknowledge it, but be willing to do something about it. Not just be like, oh, well, I'm old now. This motherfucker in Memphis, I'm 52. I'm 52 now. I guess I can't figure out how to stop abusing women. But there has to be some sort of intermediary, guys. Like, we can't just be only looking out for survivors without any thought about how to prevent men from becoming predators and abusers in the first place. And it has to start when they are kids, everybody. I really think that boys and girls to some extent could use this education as well, but it's the girls whose lives are in danger, okay? So maybe they need it a little less. The boys need this instruction. Like, we need to have some sort of anti-misogyny training, right? Because and maybe that is in the form of some political education. Like, we have to teach these boys, and I say boys because it starts at boyhood. We have to teach these boys that you can't be beating on these girls. That's it. And we can use the little wayward examples of what happens if, the girl is attacking him. Listen, I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. If I had a son and my son was being attacked by any woman, his partner, the girl at the bar, who the fuck else, I don't care. I would tell my son, no question, son, you don't put hands on a woman. But if she put hands on you, or if she is coming at you with a weapon of some sort, mush the shit out her ass, okay? Like, yes, in defense of yourself, in defense of your bodily autonomy, absolutely. And that don't mean two-piece her ass like Mike Tyson, God damn it. You use proportionate force against a woman because as a man, you're stronger. Biologically, physiology, you're just naturally stronger than her. So you don't need to destroy her, but you need to put enough force on her to stop the attack, okay? / get away, right? So I just want to be clear. I'm not one of those, oh, a man shouldn't put his hands on a woman for any reason. No. 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 I don't subscribe to that. Nobody gets to put their hands on anybody, okay? Period, point blank. You put your hands on anybody, you should expect some repercussions. Ladies, and I as a woman who has been hit by a man, and not because of some shit I done started, okay? Because I have been hit by a man, I know better, right? I'm not gonna go start no shit physically with no fucking man. Why? So he can knock my teeth out? No, thank you. I'm not gonna do that. But at the same time, but I'm not gonna do that because he can knock my teeth out. You understand? Like, I'm not gonna go start no shit with no man. Why? Because he can knock my teeth out, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, don't think that I'm not here for self-defense at all. I definitely think men have a right to self-defense from anybody, especially a woman that's attacking them. But you have to use proportionate force. You cannot just be fucking just rocking girls' jaws out here. You can mush her ass, right? Anyway, but regardless. So anyway, I was so disturbed by the story, but I felt it was a very good example of the ways in which domestic violence situations present themselves. They're not always intimate partner situations. It's not always lovers, fighting. This can be your family members, right? And because we are in a mental health crisis in this country, because we don't have access to adequate mental health resources in this country, we have to do what we can to protect ourselves. And if you think that there's a possibility for violence from anybody coming to your home, coming to a relative's home, you need to nip that shit in the bud before dinner time. Okay. You need to be calling them people Wednesday tomorrow and tell them that no, y'all can't come. You know what? We're not actually doing Thanksgiving dinner this week. Yeah. Somebody got COVID. That's it. That's what happened. There we go, y'all. Make up COVID. Tell your cousin she can't bring her abusive husband because our granny done got COVID. Up, we're not even doing dinner, baby. Sorry. But call and check on her after dinner and make sure she good. And hold on to the point of that package when it went through the holidays about in terms of the holidays in which domestic violence hotlines receive calls. They don't get that many calls on Thanksgiving, not that many calls on Christmas, not that many calls on New Year's. I'm curious, what days do they get the most calls? What holidays? What would you guys guess? I'm guessing St. Patrick's Day. When do you think people get drunk and then want to fight their partners? Definitely St. Patrick's Day. I'm not even going to say Memorial Day weekend because people be misinterpreting shit at barbecues and be getting drunk. What's another one, y'all? Oh, during football season, no doubt, y'all. When the local team loses, the calls for domestic violence hotlines go up. Okay, this is documented. This is not even me making this shit up. This is for real. So it's not just the holidays that we need to be on higher alert for domestic violence, and again, the types of forms that domestic violence can take. But I just wanted to say I'm so sorry to that entire family, to the entire Christian family of Memphis. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for that. And I don't know why this man decided to target the women in his family. He shot 5 women in his family, 4 of which died, 2 of which were girls, minors. And he's not the only one. It's not just him. It's not just him. So don't let it be somebody that you're related to, because you can't call the cops. You're going to have to pull out the fofo and do something to him. That's all I can say. So anyway, guys, that's going to be the show. Wilbert, do you have a moment? You don't have to put your camera on. You ain't got to put a shirt on.
Yo.
How you feel?
Chilling.
All right. Friday. What we doing? You gonna be in town? Let me start off let me ask the question the right way. Are you gonna be in town?
No.
You not?
No.
Where you going?
RVA?
RVA?
I'm coming to get a plate, bro.
Hey, I already told my mama. I already told Mama Will might come by and get a plate.
I might slide Friday. That's what I might on the way back.
Okay. So Will's gonna be in RVA, girls. Go on out there, go find him. Where you be out? Powhatan? Where you be out? Williamsburg?
No, don't never disrespect me. Henrico.
Oh shit! Oh, I was fucking around. I know where you be at, nigga. I wasn't trying to get your specific location, but there you go. Just put your location out there. Go ahead. Just tell everybody where you going.
I rep P Street. That's where we at.
Petersburg? Is that what you said?
No, P Street. Get it right.
What you say? What you say? Hopewell, nigga.
Nah, you all right? It's time to end the show. You about to end all this shit. The bills is due, y'all.
Bills is due. Yes. Okay, so Will's not going to be around Friday, guys. So we're not going to do a live show Friday. So just a heads up, no show on Black Friday. But I do want you guys to consider the Burn It Down with Kim Brown platform on your Giving Tuesday, right? So here we go with all the goofy fucking holidays. We go Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday.
I was about to say Small Business Saturday.
I don't know what the fuck they do on Sunday.
You know this is a small business, y'all.
I mean, yeah, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday. Some new shit white folks done made up. So white folks, consider us on your I'm just kidding.
Please.
Not just whites. We need everybody.
Financially, consider us.
Consider us, please, on your Giving Tuesday. If you are, I don't fucking know. Who got extra money? Will, you got some extra money? You giving on Giving Tuesday, my nigga?
You see, you couldn't even hold it in. You couldn't even hold that laugh in, knowing damn well I got my hand out, and it's not to. Ain't nothing in it. Ain't nothing in it. I'm over here like, I'm getting non-verbal.
Right. No, I'm giving verbal support on Giving Tuesday. Hey, man, I'm giving y'all niggas some kudos. Y'all, that's what I'm
Yeah,
getting.
right.
I'm giving kudos on
You want a compliment? I like your shirt. Love it for
So,
you.
so if you do have a couple of extra coins, consider supporting the Burning Down with Kim Brown platform on Giving Tuesday. BIDWKB. That's basically all of our cash links, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Patreon. We did get a couple new patrons. I'm gonna shout you guys out. I'm trifling. I'm sorry. You will discover this as you as you continue to subscribe to the content. I'm just a little trifling out here, but we appreciate the support. So anyway, no show Friday, gang. Will, is there anything you would like to say to the people before we push off?
No, I love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting. And yeah, just be safe. Peace and blessings and all that goodness to you.
Well, if somebody wanted to give us weed and edibles, could we take that on Giving Tuesday? Or we want yes?
Send it. Yes, we accept all of those things. And you know, they support the channel in ways that you don't know.
But I don't know if it's legal to send drugs through the mail yet. So if y'all do send me some shit, you got to give me a heads up. So I go.
We know.
You got to go
that should be going on for at least 10 years. But yeah. Support the channel.
Yes, please.
Gracias.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate you. Okay, thank you guys. Zenzi Bell, don't send no hot shit through the mail now, goddammit, because you know the popo is probably looking for a reason. I mean, I ain't even really dangerous out here, but you know, I'm small town. They would like to get me about the paint. Just just get her out of the way. Let's just take care of that. Let's just get her done. I ain't doing out here, Mr. Ossifer. I'm sorry, Mr. Ossifer. I do nothing. All the FBI agents watching BIDWKB and Black Power Media. Shout out to y'all. And I hope y'all don't get y'all new building. I hope some of that concrete at the old building on East Street fall on your motherfucking heads. And y'all deserve that rat infested shit, just like Matt Gaetz said. I'm standing with Matt Gaetz on that shit. Matt Gaetz said, all you FBI bums can sit y'all asses in that rat infested building. I said, preach, Matt Gaetz. I said, shut, everybody be quiet. Matt Gaetz is out here spitting that fall. Matt Gaetz is out here talking that shit. I said, oh shit. So anyway, all right, I'm done. We'll see y'all back, not here, but on the Remix Morning Show tomorrow morning, Black Power Media at 8 in the a.m. And I will see if I'm going to be with you guys on Thanksgiving Day morning. I might be at my mom's putting together my macaroni and cheese, which is, by the way. But y'all might get to see Mama's new kitchen. And might get to see Mama make Thanksgiving Day breakfast, and it's awesome. Oh, it's awesome. And y'all might get to see us do some Maryland shit, because in Maryland, I don't know if all Marylanders do this, and Will ain't no Marylander, so he don't know nothing about this. But in my house, we do seafood Thanksgiving Day morning. So Mama will usually go get some fresh oysters from the stove, not from the bay. She'll go get some fresh oysters and she'll either fry oysters or we'll get scallops and we'll do scallops wrapped in bacon. And that's usually amongst our like opening, salvos for the eventual Thanksgiving Day dinner. So if you guys can see Mama do them oysters, y'all will be in for a treat. Maybe Mama might even share the recipe with y'all. And who could really say? Maybe I'm going to do y'all like Kamal. Y'all got to run us some money if you want Mama's recipes. So we'll figure this out. But regardless, I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Remix Morning Show. On behalf of Will and Molly, thank you guys so much for all that you do. And thank you so much for showing up here. Give the video a thumbs up on y'all way out the door, kids. See y'all later. Bye-bye.